Hospital. Endoscopy Examination Center. I was sitting on the edge of the examination bed, not moving for a long time. Lie on your back, put your calves on the leg rests, and spread your knees. Probably sensing my nervousness, the doctor squeezed some coupling agent onto the probe and gently added, "Relax, it won't hurt much." It's not about being afraid of pain. Being stared at directly by Andrew's sharp and blade-like gaze, no one could relax. I pursed my lips awkwardly and ordered, "You go out first and wait for me outside." Andrew's voice was as cold as his expression. "Why? What do you mean why? Can't he feel how embarrassed I am right now? Later, when I take off my pants and lie down in that position. If he were also a doctor, I wouldn't be so shy. After all, it's not worth wasting time on being ashamed. But he isn't. He's just my bodyguard. A bodyguard who is overly dedicated." I sighed speechlessly. What danger could there be in a genital cavity examination? His tall and straight figure remained motionless. "You can't leave my sight. This dedicated bodyguard has his own set of action guidelines. When it comes to violating what he believes are principles, he won't even listen to orders." After a moment of stalemate, the doctor spoke up tactfully, "Oliver, how about we make this quick? I have another appointment coming up soon." I glanced at Andrew again. There was still no sign of compromise on his chiseled face. "Forget it. It's not like he hasn't seen me before. Last time when I almost drowned while taking a red wine bath, it was Andrew who carried me out of the bathtub completely naked. Moreover, this guy simply has no emotions. He always has a cold expression on his face. I've never heard of what he likes. Not only has he no affection for anyone, but he doesn't even have any hobbies. Even on his rare days off, he just goes to the gym and works out non-stop. At a banquet, when an omega suddenly went into heat, other alphas were in a complete mess and went crazy. Only he calmly put on a bite stopper and silently injected an inhibitor. He didn't lose control at all. There's no need to feel ashamed in front of such a person. I gave in. But I still underestimated the pain. I couldn't hold back a wail, and my whole body tensed up like a bow. The doctor looked even more nervous than me. Because Andrew, who was originally 2 or 3 meters away, stood beside the bed the moment I let out a wail. He stared silently and expressionlessly at the doctor's operation. The sense of oppression was so strong that even I was forced to shift my attention. The doctor explained to Andrew it's normal to feel a bit of pain. Cold sweat was pouring down. "Oliver, please relax and don't clench. It'll be over soon." The voice took on a tinge of pleading. I gritted my teeth and endured it, but the situation seemed to turn into a tug of war. The pain made me nervous. My nervousness made my muscles stiff. The stiff muscles made it difficult for the probe to move forward. Since the probe couldn't move forward, the doctor had to use more force. When he used more force, it hurt me even more. The sweat that broke out soaked my shirt and it was extremely uncomfortable sticking to my body. Fortunately, it suddenly went smoothly in the end. The doctor visibly heaved a sigh of relief and quickly finished the examination. "Mr. Oliver, your reproductive cavity is in good condition. Once the matching is completed, we can arrange for embryo implantation." All right. The calves had been placed on the leg rests for quite a while and the blood circulation was poor. As soon as the feet touched the ground, both legs suddenly went numb. Andrew almost caught me the moment I slumped down weakly. His arms were strong and powerful. I buried my whole face in his chest and my nose was filled with a scent. I forgot to mention. Don't rush to get out of bed. How about sitting back? Probably being glared at by Andrew, the doctor suddenly stopped speaking. I maintained the position and waited for a while. My legs, which felt like they had gone to outer space, finally regained a little bit of sensation. Andrew squatted down and helped me pull up the waistband of my pants that had slipped down to my ankles. When looking down, the crew cut looks kind of touchable. I don't hesitate to reach out. The palm of my hand is itchy. It tickles. Andrew still has no expression on his face and bends down to fasten my belt. The assistant had been waiting outside for a long time. Seeing us come out, he immediately handed over the itinerary. "Mr. Oliver, it's 15 minutes later than the expected end time. Should the subsequent meeting be postponed or canceled?" I took the tablet and swiped it. While discussing side by side with the assistant, Andrew silently followed half a meter behind me on the left. Not too close, nor too far. I'm already used to being able to see him in my peripheral vision with just a slight turn of my head. A fixed sense of security. The meeting was ultimately canceled. I was sweaty and uncomfortable and I didn't have time to clean off the sticky coupling agent. Sitting in the car, I changed my sitting position hundreds of times in a minute. Although the probe was quite thin, after all that, I still felt extremely uncomfortable down there. If it weren't for getting my grandfather's inheritance, I wouldn't have come to suffer this. In order to ensure that the Jiang family has descendants, the old man made a will. Whichever of our 3 brothers gives birth to an heir first will get all the inheritance. Yes, the 3 brothers of the Jiang family are all Omegas and they are all career-oriented, having no interest in love. The eldest brother is too conservative and is preparing for a marriage alliance through a matchmaker. The 3rd brother is too unrestrained and directly grabbed someone to the hotel to have a baby. I simply can't understand. Why don't they choose artificial insemination like me? It's scientific, efficient, and hygienic. There's no better way than this. I felt uncomfortable, changed my sitting position, and let out a groan. The silent Andrew suddenly spoke up. Does it hurt? Were you stabbed? It doesn't hurt. I turned my head and curled my lips. Andrew, don't you have anything to explain to me? The car just drove into the tunnel. Under the dim light, Andrew's well-defined jawline exuded a cold and hard texture. It was tightened very tightly. Leaning on my head, I saw the tunnel lights flash past behind him one after another like shooting stars. Andrew pursed his lips and said, "Protecting you is my duty." The field of vision suddenly brightened. Behind him became the sea level glittering with broken gold. The examination went so smoothly in the end, not because I was naturally gifted and got used to the presence of the probe. It was because Andrew released his pheromones when I was grimacing in pain. The doctor, being a beta, couldn't feel how strong the smell of metallic rust suddenly filled the examination room. It was the smell of a sharp blade cutting through the air. If the examination had lasted a little longer, I might have been further induced into the estrus stage. My body was still sweating. And things down there were still in a mess. Look at what you've done. Thank goodness I'll never sleep with an alpha in my life. It's disgusting. Andrew's thick eyelashes drooped slightly. Sorry, young master. It won't happen again. When he got home, the bathtub was already filled with water. I slammed the bathroom door shut and said, "Get rid of that stench on you. I don't want to smell it when I go out later." There was a moment of silence outside the door, and then he replied in a low voice, "Understood." Andrew had been in life and death battles for many years, so his footsteps were barely audible. I wasn't sure if he had left. I held my breath and waited for a while, then gently opened the door. Unexpectedly, I met his gaze head on. I was startled and said, "Why are you still here?" "I'll leave after the young master finishes washing." I was a bit annoyed. Can't he understand human language? I frowned and pointed at the door. "Get out. Don't come in without my order." His gaze swept over the bathtub and my bare feet, then moved up along the trouser legs of my suit and paused slightly. "Have you looked enough? Didn't you hear me telling you to get out?" Andrew swallowed hard and finally nodded. I heard. I stared at him closing the door, and the strength that had been holding me up suddenly disappeared. My waist was weak and my legs were weak too. I climbed into the bathtub. That desire didn't diminish but instead increased, like the hot water around me tightly enveloping me and pounding against my reason wave after wave. I was irritated. I bit my lower lip and resignedly reached my hand down. I really wanted to kick Andrew out. Self-righteous, over-smart, and stubborn as a mule. He simply has no awareness of doing things for money. Does he think I can't do without him? However, at present, it's really hard to find someone who reacts faster and is better at fighting than him. Even if there is such a person, they can't be like Andrew, who doesn't gossip about the company's projects, doesn't care about the operation of the Jiang family, keeps silent and doesn't talk much and only has my safety in mind. The water rippled and my breathing quickened. At the crucial moment, the image of him squatting in front of me just now suddenly popped up in my mind. It seemed that the feeling of touching his head still lingered on my hand. It was a bit itchy. The itch started from the palm of my hand and went all the way to the top of my head. My whole body suddenly trembled and the water splashed noisily, slowly rippling away. I don't know how much time had passed when the sudden notification tone of a message pulled me back to reality. The violently heaving chest had returned to normal. The water had gotten a bit cold, yet a cluster of dense foam on the water surface lingered for a long time. I stared blankly for a while longer, then averted my eyes and clicked into the message box. "Oliver, do you miss me? I'm back these 2 days." I was stunned. It was someone I never expected. The message box that had been silent for 4 years was like a stagnant pond. This new message was a stone thrown into the dead pond. A strong sense of weariness and nausea welled up. I closed my eyes and turned off the phone screen, then placed it face down. I stood up and pressed the drain button. Watching the circle of foam swirling into the drain, I still felt it wasn't enough, so I turned on the shower to rinse the bathtub. After rinsing the bathtub, I started to rinse myself. Even when my skin began to wrinkle from the water, I still couldn't wash away that feeling of nausea even a little bit. How annoying. When a person is irritated, the whole world seems to be against them. Fuming, I stepped out of the bathtub. As soon as I stepped on the floor tile, my heart skipped a beat. Losing balance in the body is a matter of an instant. Instinctively, I reached out to grab something. In my panic, I swept all the bottles and jars on the niche to the ground. It's terrible. Do I have a feud with the bathtub? The door was yanked open. Before the pain of my knee hitting the ground reached my brain, I was already picked up horizontally. At this speed, there can be no one else but Andrew. His profile, as rigid as a sculpture, was taut. After placing me on the bed, he immediately knelt down halfway to check on my knee. His rough palm supported the back of my knee, and his other hand held my ankle. He carefully rotated it and asked, "Does it hurt like this?" He had taken a shower, and the pheromones that were originally very prominent had completely disappeared. His newly changed light gray shirt was stretched tight by his bulging chest muscles, and was now soaked with large dark water stains. I shook my head and answered irrelevantly, "It's wet." Andrew paused in his movements, looked up at me, and a rare look of bewilderment appeared on his usually expressionless face. "I mean," the words inexplicably took a turn. "The sheets are wet. Let Aunt Emma come and change them." He glanced at the sheets, gently put down my leg, and said, "Okay." Responding verbally, he turned back and fetched my phone and bath towel. He handed me the phone but didn't leave right away. He unfolded the large bath towel, draped it over my shoulders, and slowly wiped me down. The soft cotton absorbed the water droplets on my skin and retained the gradually dissipating body heat. I kept silent. It wasn't until he wiped my waist that I raised my index finger. I gently tapped on his shoulder. His movements stopped immediately. Without much effort, like using minimal force to deflect a great one, I easily pushed him away to an arm's length. "This is not part of your job." This time, Andrew didn't argue with me. He wrapped the bath towel around my waist, stood up straight, and said in a cold tone, "I'll go and call Aunt Emma." Aunt Emma was chatting in the downstairs garden. Obviously, she was startled by the sudden appearance of Andrew. She covered her chest, looking resentful, and mumbled a few words before walking into the house. My phone rang twice again. "So cold. Why don't you reply to me? We'll discuss the new cooperation next week. You'll come, right? Oliver, actually I miss you a lot and want to see you." I took a deep breath and simply replied, "I'll come." Then I quickly set his chat to do not disturb. I put away my phone and shifted my gaze back to Andrew. He finally noticed the water stains on his clothes and touched them with his head down. Then, he curled his fingers and slowly raised his hand to his nose. He was smelling. He smelled for a long time. I frowned and followed suit, raising my elbow to take a sniff. I didn't use a bath bomb or body wash today, so there wasn't a trace of fragrance on me. What was he smelling? The afternoon sun was lovely, casting a soft glow on Andrew's chiseled profile. His thin lips pursed and curved up slightly. It was too quick and too faint. It was so subtle that it seemed like an illusion of mine. Was Andrew smiling? Aunt Emma spoke up from behind. "Young master, the change is done. Do you have any other instructions?" I turned around blankly and shook my head blankly. And just as she was about to leave, I unconsciously called out to her, "Wait a minute. Call Andrew. Forget it. Go and do your work." Andrew downstairs was looking up at my window. He has good hearing and probably already caught his own name. Out of the blue, I opened my mouth and made a silent gesture. "Come up." The fact that Andrew can smile is simply shocking to me. I've hired him for nearly a year, and I've never seen him show any obvious emotions. When being troubled by the security company at important occasions, when being attempted to be bought off by rival companies with money, when being tortured by my drunken nonsense after socializing, he has shown perfect professionalism, being neither overbearing nor humble, perseverant, and unmoved. He's like a pseudo-human implanted with a program of only obey Oliver's words. Although there are intermittent program malfunctions and he doesn't follow instructions, Was that fleeting smile just now also a program malfunction? Young master. A deep voice sounded. I turned my head and stared at his cold face. Could it really be just my illusion? How could a smile ever appear on such a face? It's clearly like waiting for a ship at the airport. His deep and dark eyes calmly stared at me and repeated, "Young master." I averted my gaze and tilted my chin towards the wardrobe. "Dress me up." Andrew didn't move for a moment. "This is not part of my job." The words spoken 10 minutes ago were thrown back at me. It's quite interesting. He even has a temper. But no matter how temperamental he is, he's still the dog I've raised. After baring his teeth, he has to wag his tail for me again. "Don't button the top ones." Andrew's fingers paused for a moment. Then he continued to button it up. I was too lazy to argue with him, so I reached out and unbuttoned 2 buttons myself, then ordered, "Shirt clips." When he squatted down, the outline of a tightly strapped band around his thigh could be clearly seen. It's the same style as mine. He clipped the shirt edges one by one. I couldn't see his expression. I only felt that his breath was very close and very warm. I never leave my doubts until the next day. "Andrew, what are you smelling?" His breath suddenly stopped for a moment, and then he straightforwardly and undisguisedly said, "The young master smells good." It's a line that I've heard so many times that it makes my ears numb. At social gatherings, events, and business talks, I always hear such words, either flattering or teasing. In short, they all carry desire. Perhaps Andrew's usual image of being free from worldly desires was too deeply ingrained in people's minds. Hearing it from his mouth at this moment, I surprisingly didn't feel repulsed. He is 2 years older than me. He has no family and shows no sign of starting a family. I couldn't help but be curious and asked, "What do you earn money for?" Andrew clipped on the last duckbill clasp, stood up, and reached out to tie my tie, saying, "To marry a wife." I was so shocked that I couldn't say a word for a long time. To marry a wife? What kind of girl do you like? The bow tie was pushed down to my throat and it was a bit tight. I frowned and loosened it a bit. Before I could get his answer, I received a call from my assistant. Some time ago, we acquired a bankrupt small enterprise and the old employees are causing trouble. To avoid the spread of public opinion and have a negative impact on the Jiang family, I need to go and suppress the situation. As soon as I got out of the elevator, I heard a man shouting indignantly, "If it weren't for the Jiang family setting us up and putting obstacles in our way, how could the company have gone bankrupt? Just 3 Omegas still dare to ride roughshod over us. Do they deserve it? In my opinion, we should unite and leave the company collectively so that they won't get any benefits from us." The person speaking should be a technical backbone. It's not a big deal if he leaves, but it will be troublesome if everyone is incited by him. I stopped in my tracks and looked at my assistant. Cut off the communication signals on these 2 floors first. Is the new contract ready? What could have been discussed slowly now has to be expedited. Dismiss all the ordinary employees who support him through the proper process. The others will continue with their original labor contracts and their treatment remains the same. For the management above the intermediate level and core personnel, renegotiate with them and add a non-competition agreement. Double the liquidated damages. Employees are not allowed to communicate privately. Apply pressure and try to get all of them signed before tonight. The boss has assigned me quite a few people. Although the one who puts obstacles and sets traps is indeed him, he generally doesn't show up. The third brother is just an innocent fool. This kind of thankless and dirty work always falls on me. The stage where one person sang and a few people echoed suddenly became as noisy as a vegetable market after we entered. Seeing that the hesitant people began to waver one after another and rushed into the meeting room for individual talks, the one who was shouting the loudest got anxious. His voice got louder and his speech got faster. But few people listened to him. In the face of long-term interests, what does a little sentimentality matter? Moreover, this sentimentality itself has impure motives. He has already accepted a high-paying offer from a rival company on the condition that he incites the remaining people to jump ship collectively. The assistant reported the progress to me and everything was developing as expected. The only unexpected thing was the pen holder thrown at me. Go to hell. He's actually so furious. Amid the successive exclamations around, Andrew quickly wrapped his arms around me and turned to the side. The pen holder hit his back with a dull thud. The things inside scattered all over the ground. The utility knife fell in front of me. I took a look, then turned my head and asked, "Are you okay?" "Yes." Andrew let go of me. Since the Omega suddenly went into heat at the banquet, Andrew would consciously wear a bite stopper when accompanying me to crowded places. Under the metal grid, his expression remained normal. The troublemakers were subdued and the process went faster. I lowered my head and sent the result to my elder brother. The message kept spinning and couldn't be sent. Then I remembered that I had ordered the signal to be cut off, so I had to put away my phone first. "Let's go. Leave the rest to them." As the elevator slowly descended from the 37th floor in the enclosed space, I suddenly smelled a faint rusty odor. I glanced at Andrew. He was frowning and staring intently at the numbers. Didn't he notice it himself? Releasing pheromones casually is not a good habit. Just as I was about to remind him, the light above suddenly flickered. His shoulder was suddenly put around by someone, and Andrew's voice was urgent, "Lean against the wall." Before he could even feel puzzled, the next second, the lights went out. The elevator plummeted several floors rapidly. After a violent jolt, it barely stopped. "Is there a power outage?" It was pitch black in front of the eyes. Only the alarm bell button was emitting a faint red light. "It doesn't seem like an accident. If it's not an accident, then it's man-made. I've encountered many deliberate retaliations in recent years, but this was the first time in such a situation." My heart was still pounding wildly. I forced myself to calm down and took out my phone. Fortunately, after leaving those 2 floors, the signal has returned to normal. I briefly summarized the situation in one sentence, and my elder brother quickly replied, "Don't be afraid. I'll be there right away." I wasn't actually afraid. I might have panicked if I was trapped alone. But now Andrew was still by my side. With him here, my heart suddenly skipped a beat. Andrew seemed to be in a bad state. He was breathing heavily, his body temperature was very high, and his muscles were tense and rigid. "Andrew." What responded to me was a vague grunt. I immediately became nervous. Usually, he was calm and sharp-tongued at the negotiation table, but at this moment, he became clumsy and stammered. You relax. I'm here." Before hiring Andrew, I conducted a detailed background check on him. I also used special means to obtain his medical records with the psychiatrist. It was a bit unethical, but for my own safety, ethics didn't matter. After all, at Andrew's age, he was at the peak of his thinking and physical abilities. It was very strange that he gave up a high-paying commission and retired early to become a bodyguard. It was hard not to think too much. His several psychotherapy sessions were all very short, and he hadn't seen a doctor since he started working for me. I thought he was cured, or at least had let go of it, but obviously that wasn't the case at present. The dim and cramped environment had triggered his post-traumatic stress again. 3 years ago, during a mission, he and his teammate were trapped under a concrete slab by a round of explosions. The space was so small that they couldn't even stretch their limbs. For days later, they were rescued. To be precise, Andrew was rescued. His teammate was seriously injured and lost his breath on the night of the explosion. Andrew was trapped in that small space, quietly feeling the man gradually losing body temperature, gradually swelling and slowly smelling bad. But he was helpless. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't know how to counsel him. I'm just his employer, and actually I don't need to console him. But he has fought so hard for me so many times, and his life has got on the right track. He can smile now and even wants to marry a wife. I can't bear it somewhat. After struggling in my heart for several times, I gritted my teeth and tore off the inhibitor patch that I had been sticking on the back of my neck all year round. I carefully got a little closer, reached out and half embraced his shoulder, and gently patted his back. It's okay. We'll get out of here soon. An Omega's pheromones can soothe a restless alpha. It should be like this. Why is his body tensing up even more? Isn't it enough? I wasn't sure, so I tentatively stood on tiptoe and put my arms around his neck. Before I could comfort him, I felt something slippery in the palm of my hand first. Warm and sticky. I was taken aback, then remembered the utility knife and suddenly realized, "You're injured." That faint smell of rust just now wasn't pheromone. It was blood. Andrew didn't answer. He silently reached out and encircled my waist. "Young master." Fortunately, there is still reason. I didn't even care that he was holding me too tightly, almost clinging to me, exceeding the safe distance we should have maintained. Do you feel better? Hold on a little longer. Big brother will be here soon. He rested his head on my shoulder and rubbed it gently, saying, yes. The bite guard was cold, and the breath spraying out from the metal grid was extremely hot. The cold and the heat slowly wandered on my side neck, making me shiver uncontrollably several times. His breathing finally stopped on my gland. It was getting hotter and hotter. An uneasy thought popped up in my mind. Could it be that he wants to bite me? My nerves instantly tensed up, but the next second, I relaxed again while trying to comfort myself. No, he's wearing a bite stopper. Besides, Andrew never does anything out of line. Young master, I want. What do you want? Young master, Andrew called out in a low voice again, his voice hoarse and tinged with a thick lust. I was stunned. A sharp, intense soreness suddenly exploded in my gland, and my whole body trembled uncontrollably. The metal strip of the bite guard. He has no sense at all now. I struggled and tugged at his hair to pull him away, but his hair was too short to grip. My random shoving only resulted in his tighter restraint and more wanton caresses. There was no actual physical contact, but everywhere the bite guard rubbed against felt as hot as if on fire. Andrew, let go of me. Andrew ignored her words. The shirt clips he had fastened himself were torn open forcefully, and the elastic band snapped against my thigh, making me shiver. The elevator was still stuck in mid-air and could fall at any time. I dared not struggle too much and could only watch helplessly as he lifted the hem of my shirt up to my collarbone. When his fiery touch reached my chest, I couldn't help but let out a whimper. It hurts. Andrew's body suddenly froze. Seizing the opportunity, I pressed on. It really hurts. Wake up. I'm your boss. You can't hurt me. The force that held me slowly slackened. He dropped his hands. His breathing was still rapid, but he didn't move again. Neither I nor Andrew spoke again until my eldest brother brought someone to open the elevator door. Big brother's gaze swept over Andrew and landed on my wrinkled shirt. Are you okay? It was a normal expression of concern, yet my face suddenly grew hot. I'm fine. He needs to have his wound treated. Andrew didn't go home with me for the first time. Sitting in my eldest brother's car, my body was still getting hot in waves. Oliver? Suddenly coming to her senses, her eldest brother had a calm expression and patiently repeated, the surveillance footage, should I help you deal with it? What surveillance footage? He didn't say a word and handed over the tablet. In the blurry and low-resolution footage, two figures were closely entangled, their heads close together. My face became even hotter instantly. It's clearly not like that, but why does the surveillance footage make it look like they're so eager to have an affair? Get rid of it. It'll be a disaster if it gets out. Okay. The eldest brother replied indifferently and sent a few messages. What about him? Should we get rid of him too? I looked down and saw a smear of dark red in the palm of my hand. I was in a daze for a few seconds before realizing that he was talking about Andrew. Clenching his hand, he almost answered without thinking, no need. The eldest brother put away his phone, turned his head and glanced over, as you like. Don't come crying to me if you get bitten. Nonsense. When have I ever cried? Haven't you cried a lot? Like the last time you were dumped face to face. He chuckled softly. All right, stop the car. Of course, he wouldn't let him get out in this state, but he wisely stopped talking. We were silent all the way until we reached the villa. Just as I was about to get out of the car, a slow voice came from behind. Oliver, don't be stubborn and tough talking. If you like. I slammed the door shut crisply. Mind your own business. Andrew didn't come back until the next day. The private detective soon updated me on his situation. He had his wound treated in the emergency surgery department. He got 2 boxes of inhibitors and used half of them on the spot. And he had a 3-hour psychological counseling session. 3 hours? Isn't he going to marry his wife? He dares to spend so much money. Previously, he always ended the session at the 59th minute, determined not to let the doctor earn an extra cent. Shall I send you the conversation records and recordings? Yes, send them. A compressed file was quickly sent from the other end. I saved it as usual without opening it in a hurry. I could roughly guess the content. Andrew had recalled the scene of being trapped under the concrete slab again. He felt lost and desperate. I've heard this many times, and every time I listen to it, I'll be in a depressed mood for a long time. There were a lot of documents to deal with yesterday, and I have no time to be distracted now. After 3 consecutive meetings, I pushed open the door of the office and a fragrance of food rushed towards me. Andrew stood up with his cheeks still puffed out. I walked over as usual and said, "Give me a bite of the lion's head." Seeing Andrew stunned for a moment, I immediately realized what was going on and stopped in my tracks. I'm so busy that my head is in a mess. After the elevator incident, the first words between the two of us shouldn't be asking for a bite of the lion's head, right? Have you reflected on it properly? Or, if there's a next time, you're fired. This would be more appropriate. When he opened his mouth again, what came out was, "Forget it." I pursed my lips. "Arrange your own schedule after the meal. There's a family dinner at the old mansion tonight. You don't need to come." Andrew gulped. "Young master." My eyebrows twitched. I always had a feeling that he was going to say something I didn't want to hear. I wanted to stop him, but he had already blurted out I was sober yesterday. "What are you trying to say?" "Sorry." "Why are you apologizing? For overstepping your bounds or for not being able to control yourself?" He didn't say a word. "All right, let's stop here." I waved my hand and walked towards the desk. "Find a partner soon. Tell me what kind of person you like and I'll set you up." There was a huge pile of documents to be processed on the table. I picked one up and flipped through it casually. Suddenly, I heard a voice from behind. Someone like Oliver. My mind went blank for a moment. I suspected I had misheard. "What?" Andrew had no expression on his face and his tone was calm. "I want someone like Oliver." "Me?" He didn't even call me young master. Although it's all about me, the name and the address are completely different concepts. Without waiting for him to answer, I sneered. "You really have audacious hopes." I was still thinking about his words until night. Someone like me? What kind of person am I? Seeing me in a daze in the yard, the old mansion's housekeeper brought me a blanket. As the second son in the family, I've never been valued by my parents since childhood. My outstanding elder brother, who was highly expected, and my frail and innocent younger brother took away almost all the attention. Only the old housekeeper cared about me. The second young master has been well behaved since childhood. He is a strong and good boy. She replied with a beaming smile. "I'm not well behaved now. I've done all sorts of inhumane and lousy things. I'm not strong at all. Is a little crybaby." A clear and mellow voice sounded and my head buzzed, my whole body tensing involuntarily. This voice. I turned my head stiffly and sure enough, I saw Daniel at a glance. He waved at me across the fence. After not seeing each other for a few years, the man still had handsome features, but I no longer felt the slightest bit of affection. "Why are you here?" The action of frowning and taking a half-step back was fully taken in by him. He showed an injured look, but there was not the slightest emotion in his eyes. Daniel has always been like this. He acts as if he cares about you very much, and his gentleness is almost drowning. But when you really get indulged in it, you'll find that in fact, he doesn't care about anyone. The gentleness is fake and drowning is real. "Little crybaby, stop crying. Don't they want to play with you? It doesn't matter. Daniel is also your big brother. I'll play with you, only with you, okay? You've differentiated into an omega. That's great. You can have a baby for big brother. Don't you want to? Big brother is sad. Oliver, you like me, right? You can admit it." "Laugh at you? How could I? I'm very happy. We'll be together when you graduate from university. I miss you so much tonight. I want to see you. Can you come to me?" But when I got myself fully mentally prepared and ran to him, I witnessed him entwined with someone else with my own eyes. The omega under him rolled his eyes slightly, his pupils were out of focus, and saliva flowed from the unclosed corner of his mouth to his ear. His body was still twitching intermittently. So ugly, so dirty, so disgusting. It turns out that mating is such a disgusting thing. And Daniel didn't care at all. He slowly stood up, looking lazy. "You saw it." "Sorry," he suddenly went into heat. "I'm also very troubled. But don't worry. We only did it twice and he didn't mark me." "Oliver, have you been marked by someone?" Daniel suddenly spoke up. I came to my senses, frowned, and raised my hand to my nose. "Put away your pheromones. After going abroad for further studies for a few years, have you even forgotten what politeness is?" He was stunned for a moment, and this time it seemed to be genuine. "You noticed." He smiled. "You're reacting so strongly. Do you have someone you like?" I didn't want to entangle with him anymore. "Let's discuss the cooperation matters at the company later. As for other things, we have nothing to talk about." He still wanted to stop me. I heard that you. I walked away quickly, but that cold woody scent lingered like a shadow, making me feel uncomfortable all over. What I once wanted the most has now become what I want to get rid of the most. I didn't finish the family dinner properly and set off to go back to my own home. As soon as I entered the door, I almost bumped into Andrew. Sorry, it's my fault. I left in such a hurry today. Usually, when he opens the door for me, I just arrive at the door. I took off my coat and bent down to change my shoes. Andrew just stood there beside me stiffly the whole time, not moving at all. Why are there alphas at the family dinner? Startled by the blatant and undisguised possessiveness in his eyes, it took me a while to remember to answer. Just an ordinary neighbor. Apparently, it was not very convincing. I added another sentence, a current business partner. We just ran into each other and had a brief chat. It still seemed unconvincing. A short chat wouldn't leave me smelling so strongly of Daniel. But if I really want to explain, this topic would be too long. Wait, why'd I have to explain to Andrew? I almost laughed at myself out of anger. I've indulged him too much and now he doesn't know his place. I pushed him irritably and said, "Get out of the way." His firm muscles were extremely hard, like an impregnable wall, not budging an inch. I looked up and glared at him, Andrew. Eventually, this wall moved aside. I ignored him and took a shower on my own. Then I went to the study to deal with the remaining work. After dealing with the work until I felt dizzy, I suddenly remembered that I hadn't read the medical records sent by the detective. I pushed the work aside, found the file, and decompressed it. The decompression progress bar quickly reached the end. It was a 3-hour audio. The mouse hovered over the play button, but I hesitated. At this point, should I still continue to pry into his privacy? I've confirmed countless times that he is very loyal to me and won't betray me. My encounter with Andrew was not a heart-stirring story, let alone a predestined fate. At that time, I had been intimidated by anonymous letters for a long time, and I needed someone to protect me when attending banquets. A friend introduced him to me. A bodyguard like him, who is top-notch in all aspects, is as much a sought-after resource in the circle as a top-notch domestic worker. Before me, he had been hired many times and was constantly used as a tool to curry favor with others, being half given and half introduced to the next person. But I kept him. I arranged the room closest to mine for him and took him with me to unimportant events. A friend asked me why. I glanced at that straight figure and smiled casually because he's very useful. I'll replace him when I find someone better. I'll never find someone better. I can't do without him. I leaned back in the office chair and rubbed the space between my eyebrows. The computer screen went dark and the phone screen suddenly lit up. From the hospital, notifying me that a highly matched candidate has been found. Contact the assistant to arrange the itinerary. When leaving the study, I unconsciously touched my belly. Stomachache. Looking up, I saw Andrew standing by the wall. No. I paused. I'm thinking about the location of the reproductive cavity. Andrew was stunned for a moment, took 2 steps closer, and pointed vaguely at a spot on my lower abdomen. Here. I found it a bit funny. You and Alpha know it better than I do myself. Although I've learned about it in biology class and just had a checkup, I still don't have any real sense of it. There will be a new life here in 3 days. It's quite amazing. 3 days? Am I the fastest one? I forced out a couple of dry laughs and then felt rather listless. It's no fun to get something by such means. Andrew stared fixedly at my lower abdomen and his face darkened. I have money. What a sudden remark. I couldn't help laughing out, Probably thinking that I was doubting its authenticity, he pulled up his international account and showed me the balance. A number that really catches the eye. So, it's all yours. Don't go. The tone was calm and firm and the expression was serious and resolute. He was serious. This was no longer funny. I composed my expression and said, "Do you know how substantial the old man's inheritance is?" He slowly withdrew his hand and replied, "I don't know." Of course, Andrew doesn't know. However ambitious. Besides, this money of yours is stained with blood. I won't take it. As soon as the words were spoken, the air suddenly froze. No, that wasn't what I meant to say. I meant that his money was earned with his life and I couldn't take it. I opened my mouth several times but couldn't say it. Forget it. No need to explain. It's better for him to misunderstand. If he has a misunderstanding, he won't say such childish things again. By the way, I'm not in the heat period yet. My reproductive cavity is probably still difficult to open. I paused for a moment and put forward the somewhat embarrassing request in a brisk tone, then do the same as last time. I'll pay you extra. After saying that, I lifted my foot and was about to go back to the room. Andrew didn't respond all the time. At the moment of passing by, my wrist was tightly grasped. I frowned and looked up, meeting his deep, bottomless black eyes. My heart skipped a beat for no reason. The word "let go" was stuck in my throat and I just couldn't utter it. Then why? He stared fixedly at me. It was like a deep sea. On the surface it was calm, but there was something struggling faintly about to break through the water. Why can't you just let me do it? My mind went blank. I was in a daze for a long time and suddenly realized what he was talking about. Are you crazy? I've said before that I won't sleep with an alpha. His restraint wasn't at full force. I shook off his hand and walked quickly for a distance. Before entering the bedroom, I lowered my voice without looking back. Andrew, if you still want to work here, I hope you adjust your work attitude as soon as possible. You should know what not to say and what not to do. The door closed. I leaned my back against the door panel and my body still slid down involuntarily. What was that? It was so strange. The struggling thing in his eyes, that kind of fierce and aggressive feeling. I subconsciously touched my wrist, then my gland, and finally covered my violently and frantically beating heart. He didn't do anything to me at all. Why did I have a feeling of being torn apart and devoured alive? In order to ensure my rest time, my assistant removed many arrangements with low priority. Among them was the negotiation with Daniel. Unexpectedly, he came directly to my office. Oliver, didn't we agree that you would attend? Do you really not want to see me that much? The assistant looked apologetic and embarrassed. I couldn't stop him. The person who could have stopped him wasn't here. I felt uncomfortable being alone with Andrew, so I sent him to buy coffee. Oliver has really grown up. As he walked in, he looked around. Finally, he stopped in front of the desk and smiled at me. You've become a reliable Mr. Oliver. I've truly grown up. The smile that used to captivate me now seems ordinary, frivolous, and hypocritical. Is there any problem? Yes, a big problem. If there's a problem, find the project supervisor. Have a child with me. The second half of the sentence stopped abruptly. I frowned. What are you talking about? I've heard about your grandfather's will. I also know that you're trying to have a baby through artificial insemination. Instead of having a child of unknown origin. Daniel propped his hands on the table and leaned towards me slightly. Isn't it better to have my child? To be honest, I'm also being pressured by my family. How about this? I'll transfer 1/3 of my shares to you if we cooperate. Not good at all. Don't be so stubborn. Didn't you like me the most when you were a kid? You used to make a wish to marry me every birthday. That time when I got drunk on New Year's Eve and slept in your room, you secretly kissed me, right? I know it all. And when you came to me last time, there were 3 condoms in your pocket. He didn't finish his words. The tie was choking his throat, and his fair and thin face instantly turned red. I was taken aback for a moment, then stood up and said, Andrew, let go. Andrew was holding his collar with one hand and still holding the coffee with the other. He looked down at Daniel expressionlessly and didn't let go. This is a headache. Although I felt really good seeing Daniel in such a mess, I still had to save him some face in the company. Let go. This time, Andrew cast his gaze at me. I couldn't read the emotions surging in his black eyes, and I just felt a tightening in my scalp. Daniel was pulled to the side and staggered back a few steps before regaining his balance. Oliver, who did you recruit? So barbaric. Andrew gave a cold glance, and the person on the opposite side immediately fell silent. Think about what I said again. I can increase the shares to half. Daniel left in a hurry and didn't even bother to close the door. I lifted my chin towards Andrew and said, give me the coffee and you can leave too. Andrew didn't move. Was it him? I didn't know how much he had heard. Obviously, the previous excuse of an ordinary neighbor seemed rather feeble at this moment. Don't agree to him. Originally, I wouldn't have agreed in the first place. But answering like this made me feel like I was obediently following his words, which annoyed me for no reason. I swallowed the second half of the sentence and reached out my hand towards him. It's none of your business. The knuckles gripping the coffee cup turned slightly pale. Just as I was about to reach it, it suddenly sank downward and was placed directly on the table. There was a loud pop, which was a bit abrupt. I reached for nothing. Before I could get angry, my hand hanging in the air was tightly grasped. I lunged forward uncontrollably and crashed into his solid embrace. What are you doing? Don't sleep with him. The scorching breath came down. I was stunned for a moment and hurriedly raised my hand to block it. A soft warmth landed on my palm. "What are you doing?" "Trying to kiss me." Although I was angrily questioning him with my mouth, my thoughts were uncontrollably wandering. My whole body was tense, yet how could his lips be so soft? I thought they'd be like the metal bars of a bodyguard, hard and cold. "Bodyguard." I came to my senses and pushed him back with a straight face. "Andrew, calm down. Did the elevator incident last time make you misunderstand? It wasn't me throwing myself at you. It was just a humanitarian comfort. Even if it was a passer-by who was trapped, I'd help if I could. Do you understand? I'm not your omega. Don't have possessive feelings towards me." The breath held in the palm paused for a moment. "You're not mine." "Yes. Not yours." I tentatively moved my hand away and he didn't kiss me again. Only half of the breath was let out when I heard him say, "But I want to be your alpha." It was sonorous, straightforward, and candid. I took a deep breath and coldly refused. "No, I don't have such a need. You have desires." I could hear the noise in the bathroom. I quickly covered his mouth. "Do you not want this job anymore? If you talk such nonsense again, you can get out." After roaring angrily with gritted teeth, I still felt it wasn't enough. "This is the last warning. There won't be a next time." The last time. The last time. The last time. Actually, I don't have the confidence to end it at all. I went home fuming. Thinking that he had been listening silently on the other side of the wall for so long, I blushed with anger. Immediately, I called Aunt Emma and planned to move his room to the farthest end from mine. "No, I won't be able to protect you in time this way. What kind of danger could there be at home?" Andrew was silent for a moment, then asked in a deep voice, "If there's no danger, why did you let me live here?" It was my turn to be silent. For the first time, I was so choked by him that I couldn't say a word. After a while, I snorted with a laugh and nodded. "You're right. After the matter at the hospital is over tomorrow, you can move out. You don't need to come home with me anymore." Andrew remained silent, and the two of us just stared at each other like that. Aunt Emma looked extremely embarrassed. "Should we still move tonight?" I didn't answer and turned around to enter the room. I tossed and turned all night and couldn't fall asleep. When did Andrew change? Clearly, he wasn't like this a year ago. When we first met, he was cold and aloof with a haughty attitude. Probably thinking that he would soon move on to the next employer, he didn't even remember my name. After he helped me deal with the anonymous intimidator, relieved as I was, I wanted to see if he was injured. Andrew frowned and stepped back 3 meters, saying in a freezing tone, "Don't touch me. The salary I offer is already high enough. When I assign him some tasks outside his scope of work, he will insist on asking for extra commission." When did everything start to change? From resisting touch to taking the initiative. When I gave him a bonus, he said he didn't need it. Only I remained the same. I didn't sleep well all night. I dawdled through washing and went out. Andrew was dressed neatly and leaning against the door waiting for me. I averted my gaze and pointed at the bodyguard on the cabinet. "Put it on." He put it on obediently. Being too obedient was suspicious. I reached out and tugged at it. It was very tight. Only then did I feel relieved. We arrived at the hospital in silence. I changed into a disposable sterile gown, and there was nothing underneath. I tugged at it nervously several times and finally gave up. Forget it. I just had to get through today. After signing a bunch of pre-operative notices, I had to go into a small room to watch a process video. It was a well-made 2D animation vividly demonstrating the upcoming operation. After just a few minutes, when the video finished playing, it didn't stop and automatically jumped to the next educational guidance video. The steps of the lifelong mark. Well, there's no need to watch this. I turned my head and said, "It's about time. Give it to me." Andrew's jawline was tense as he stared at the screen without blinking. The background voice of a female announcer was still explaining in detail. I nudged Andrew and said, "Andrew?" He finally looked at me, with a turbulent undercurrent in his eyes. I was startled. "What?" He didn't even hear me. He was so engrossed in watching. I bit my lower lip and repeated, "Give me your pheromones." Then inject the pheromones into... I turned my head in surprise. On the screen was exactly the last step of the lifelong marking. This should be the last video. After it finished, the screen went black and silent. The awkward silence lasted for about 10 seconds. Just when I thought I'd give up, Andrew slowly replied, "Okay, here you are." My heart instantly rose. I'm getting it. I clenched the sterile cloth, waiting for the right moment to enter the operating room. But this time, Andrew's pheromones didn't explode suddenly like last time. It lingered around me like smoke, seeping into my skin bit by bit like a frog being slowly boiled in warm water. Can you hurry up? The rest of the words couldn't be spoken, because I found that I couldn't stand up. My whole body was so limp that I had no strength, and I kept sliding down. I panicked and tried to grab the back of the chair. Andrew, that's enough. Stop. My waist was supported by a big hand, and suddenly I felt light. Is he going to carry me in? How embarrassing. Afraid of being stared at by others, I lowered my head and buried my face in Andrew's neck. The smell of metal rust hit my face, and now even my consciousness became soft. In a daze, I heard a soft laugh. Andrew's voice seemed so far away. I can't accept this. My brain reacted sluggishly. I raised my head and was shocked to find that he was walking in the opposite direction. I was so scared that I immediately straightened up. Is this guy trying to rebel? Andrew. Yes. He actually dared to respond. I was instantly furious, but I couldn't push him away or struggle free. Even my angry growl became a whimper. Where are you taking me? Andrew held me with one hand and opened the car door. Home. I didn't see anyone all the way in. I was so panicked. When I finally heard Aunt Emma's voice upstairs and was about to speak, Andrew pushed open the study door nearby. Stop shouting. You'll make some nicer sounds later. Andrew pressed me against the door panel and reached out to pull the strap of the bodyguard. The strap that I had firmly fastened in the morning was now directly torn off by him with his bare hands. Clang! The metal surface fell to the ground and the clear sound rolled far away. The leather edging left a mark on his high-nose bridge. He pressed it indifferently and casually lifted my chin. This time I couldn't stop it. That rusty smell instantly filled my entire nasal cavity. Being kissed until on the verge of suffocation, I struggled to raise my hand and slapped him. Andrew remained motionless. I slapped him again, but it had no effect. With a faint smile on his face, he looked down at me. Have you caught your breath? Without waiting for my answer, he kissed me fiercely again. Realizing that the more I slapped him, the more intense he became, I didn't dare to hit him anymore. Nor did I have the strength to hit him. He picked me up and swept aside the messy items on the desk. Taking the opportunity to run away, in my panic, I accidentally pressed something and a deep and hoarse voice sounded in the study. It seems that I've fallen in love with my employer. For a moment, both of them were stunned, because these words were not spoken by the out of control Andrew in front of me. It was from that 3-hour recording I hadn't listened to. The person was dragged back by him holding the ankle and said, "You're investigating me?" The mind was so confused that one didn't know what to say. You like me? No, I should resist now. If this goes on, I'll definitely be forcibly marked by him. But, you like me? Are you sure it's love? Isn't it just emotional comfort to help you get out of psychological shadows or the innate possessiveness of an alpha towards an omega? The voice of the psychiatrist was unhurried and very gentle. In the audio, Andrew fell silent. The only sound in the entire study was the crackling of static like white noise, and the chaotic thoughts gradually calmed down. I found that I was actually waiting for his answer. Andrew took off his shirt and pressed down like a mountain. What do you want to hear? I'll tell you face to face. I don't know. His slightly swollen lips were pressed by him, and then a rather gentle kiss landed. Two voices overlapped. I'm sure it's love. I want to protect him, not because of the commission, and I want to mark him, not out of an alpha's instinct. He let me have a good sleep, but often keeps me awake. Of course, it's not the same kind of sleeplessness as before. Every time he speaks, I really want to kiss him, pin him in my arms, bite him, and devour him. He always acts tough and forces himself to do things he doesn't like. For 3 hours, Andrew rambled on to the psychologist about everything that had happened in the past year. I didn't expect him to have so much to say, and I never knew I was such an image in his heart. Finally, the psychiatrist asked, "What if your love is never reciprocated?" On the other end, Andrew smiled faintly and said, "I might leave his circle. Go back to take bounty missions? I can't interfere with your decision, but I have to remind you that this might make your stress response even more severe. But if I continue to stay by his side, I might lose control and hurt him one day. I've already lost control." Andrew gasped violently and picked me up, who was as soft as a puddle. The sterile surgical gown had long been torn to pieces and was a pile of rags on the ground. I didn't even have the strength to move a finger and hung limply on him. Oliver, I'm sorry. I wanted to laugh. Saying sorry with your mouth, but why not stop your actions? His gland, which was bitten to a mess and couldn't be looked at, was bitten through by him again. How many times? I couldn't remember anymore. Inside and outside was all his pheromone. My body could hardly react and only let out a trembling groan in vain. This time he bit for an especially long time, and after pulling away, he licked it tenderly. I'll leave tomorrow. His breath fanned over my gland. I was in a daze for a moment before instinctively struggling. It'll be over soon. Andrew grabbed my hand, his voice growing softer. Just today. Don't reject me anymore. It wasn't about this. I tried my best to make a sound, though it was so hoarse that it was barely recognizable. Don't leave me. The concept of time disappeared. I completely forgot how long I had been entangled with Andrew. From the study to the bedroom to the bathtub. What finally interrupted us was a call from my eldest brother asking us to go to the hospital to see our grandfather. The will was fake. The real notarized one divided the inheritance equally among the three brothers, with no one getting more or less. Fuming helplessly in the parking lot, the eldest brother gave me a nonchalant glance and said, "Were you bitten to tears?" Probably assimilated by Andrew, I'd become extremely thick-skinned. Yes, I had a good cry. What about you, eldest brother? The eldest brother was stunned for a moment, stubbed out his cigarette and curled his lips. Mind your own business. After the driver arrived, Andrew carried me into the car. He seemed a bit uneasy. Oliver, the will is fake. Will you regret it? I didn't say a word. It wasn't until the car merged onto the main road that I spoke up. Do you remember the request I made to you when we first met? Stay by my side, never leave me. Although during these chaotic days, Andrew had maliciously misinterpreted it as something else of a restricted, level nature. The request remains the same, but there's one more thing to add. Stay by our side. Before he could react, I quickly added another sentence. No, there's another requirement to add. Let your hair grow a bit longer. Otherwise, I won't have anywhere to grab.